Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our short study. We find ourselves in 1 John chapter 2. We're going to be picking up here in verse 7. John says, Beloved. Again, it's similar to this opening that he had up here with my little children, right? We see this closeness that he has with the people that he's writing to. So, we start off. Beloved, I am writing you no new commandment, but an old commandment. An old commandment you had from the beginning, even. The old commandment is even a word that you have heard. So what's he saying here? He's saying, this is not a new commandment, but an old one. And he says it twice. Old commandment twice. He says one that you have had, but not only that, one that you have heard. Now this is kind of intriguing. What is John referencing here? Now this is a good opportunity for me to be able to point out a verse that is often overlooked. Leviticus 19 and verse 18. And contrary to popular belief, the Old Testament God is the same God of the New Testament, right? And in that verse, God commands his people, Israel, to love your neighbor as yourself, right? An old commandment that they have had, an old commandment that they have heard. But look at verse 8. It says, at the same time, it is a new commandment that I am writing you. It is a new commandment. So how can it be old and new at the same time? Well, that leads us to another verse, also penned by John. John chapter 13, 34, 35. This is after Jesus washes the disciples' feet. Jesus says, and I'm paraphrasing, love one another as I have loved you. But then he goes even further. He says, when you do that, by this, everyone will know you are my disciples. Again, it's not a new commandment, but in a way it is. It's like with what Jesus did with adultery. He says, you have heard it said that if a man commits adultery, right, that he's breaking the law. But Jesus says, but I say to you that if a man even looks at a woman with lustful intent, he's already committed adultery with her in his heart. And John knows that. That's what John has heard Jesus say here. He remembers back to Leviticus. He remembers this command, this foreshadowing of what was to come. Love your neighbor as yourself. But what's the ultimate fulfillment of this, church? That we love one another as Jesus has loved us. And when we do that, by this, everyone will know that you are my disciples. As you go throughout your day today, church, as you go throughout the rest of your week, do people know that you are a disciple from Jesus? Are you obeying this old commandment? Are you obeying this old but new commandment? Love one another. God bless.